right. Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. Wanted to hop on here to KVUE Plus and YouTube and all of our streaming platforms and talk a little bit about the forecast through the rest of this evening and tonight. If you haven't noticed, if you haven't been outside, we have widespread light showers and drizzle developing this evening. This is going to become a little bit steadier overnight. I'm not really tracking much in the way of heavy rain, but it is going to be a damp night as a Pacific cold front sweeps through tonight, bringing widespread rain. Most of this, though, is going to be gone by tomorrow morning. That is not the end of a pretty active weather pattern, though. I am tracking some more rain as we get into early next week and maybe even a couple of storms. So let's get into our forecast, and we'll head over to the chroma wall here. This is what it looks like from our Zach Theater camera. And here, I'll actually pop you over to our Kalahari camera as well. As you can see, we've got some raindrops on the lens there, even the northern I-35 corridor in Round Rock and Williamson County. Here's the deal with our rain chances through the rest of this. Isolated light shower activity continues to become more widespread. It will become a little bit heavier as well. Again, we're not looking for this to be any sort of heavy rain like what we had with our last system. However, it is going to be pretty widespread. It may be a couple of rumbles of thunder tonight. By the time we are heading into the late overnight, early tomorrow morning, by 7 a.m., I really think Austin will be completely, by 7 a.m., maybe Fayette County, Lee County hanging on to a little bit of the last rain. Here's what the radar is looking like as we speak this evening. Nothing heavy, but this is some pretty light rain from San Marcos up to Buda, up to Austin, into Round Rock as well, where I showed you that camera. Heavy. Some of this is just heavy. Some of this is just kind of like a steady mist, but this is going to be enough to make some through this evening. And while this is not going to be 1 to 2 inches of rain like we had last round, this will be enough in tandem with what's coming through later tonight to give us, say, 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain. And there could be some isolated pockets that see maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch of beneficial rain. We will tack that on to the more impressive totals from a few days ago. Here is our system. So this is the cold front. This is where the rain is. So we've got this kind of like drizzle mist coming together now. When this gets here overnight tonight, it's going to be a little bit heavier, a little bit steadier. What's going on across the Texas Panhandle, though? I'll tell you what, a wintry scene in Amarillo, the far northern Panhandle. There is snow and even some heavy snow. We do have some winter weather alerts for these areas. Advisory for Amarillo there in the purple, and then these top 2 counties right there. That is a winter storm warning. I was reading through the forecast there, up to a 1/2 foot possible for some of those areas. Let's get into our local forecast, which does not include any snow. What it does include, though, is more shower activity coming through tonight. More shower activity and rain. So by 10 o'clock, we're starting to get some of that heavier stuff I showed you to the west moving in as the front gets closer to us. So across the hill country, a little bit steadier. Ahead of that, we still just have drizzle and light rain that is widespread. This will spread along and east of I-35 as we get into the later overnight hours. So here is 12:30. This will move through pretty quickly though. By 3 a.m. on early Friday, early tomorrow morning, Giddings, LaGrange, still some rain around. By about 7 a.m., Austin and the hill country, it will be completely dry. Fayette County, there will still be some shower activity kind of lingering through the early morning hours. But then as we get into the mid-morning, and certainly the rain going to move out, the cloud cover is going to move out, and the sun and temperatures tomorrow, because this is a Pacific cold front, there's not really any cold air behind it. It's this mild Pacific air. Temperatures are actually going to be warmer tomorrow. We'll see afternoon highs in the 60s rather than the 50s, which is what we saw today. So rainfall totals here, again, don't look for anything blockbuster. For some, it's going to be only about 1/10 of an inch, if that, maybe a little bit lower. Although I do think these numbers across the I-35 corridor are a bit a low end, given we already have this rain that's moving through right now. There will be some pockets, perhaps 5, and maybe a few pockets across the hill country. As this data is showing, let's see maybe 1/4 of an inch. to 1/2 inch of rain. It's just not going to be the same type of rain like what we had a couple of days ago. Weekend plans. There's no rainy issues over the weekend. Looks pretty nice, honestly. The mornings are going to be chilly. The afternoons, I have mid-60s both Saturday and Sunday. Watch this though as we go into Monday. This is early next week. This is January the 8th. Dynamic weather system coming through. It brings a strong cold front, and ahead of this going to be some stormy weather. There's going to be some stormy weather, especially North Texas, East Texas. We have about a 50 to 60% chance for showers and storms locally. We're going to have to wait and see over the next couple of days how do all of these ingredients come together, because there is going to be at least part of the state that has a severe weather threat. As of now, looks like it's mainly going to be front's going to be coming through during the late afternoon, and behind it, rain chances quickly cooler. It will be cooler. And let me tell you, I think it will be very windy. Projections here in a moment. And then temperature-wise, we go from 70 Monday ahead of the front to the high temperature of only 56 on. So with the severe weather threat, we will watch this again in about 2 days. We'll have the high-res data, so we'll have a better idea of how all these ingredients will come together. For now, we're especially watching Southeast Texas, Houston, into Louisiana, and then along the Gulf Coast. Here in our local area, they have pushed this back a little farther westward. So Bastrop now included in this day 5. This is essentially the level 2 slight risk for Bastrop into the Highway 77 corridor, range and Giddings up to 8. As of now, for Austin, in the Hill Country, the severe weather threat looks lower, but that doesn't necessarily mean non-existent. So again, just kind of stay tuned, keep this in the back burner for a little bit, and then here in 2 days we have better data. We'll go through some of the specifics with you. Getting increasingly confident on if the severe weather threat manifests. We have non-thunderstorm winds behind this cold front. We call these pressure gradient winds. So again, this has nothing to do with storms. It has to do with the pressure gradient, with the strong low pressure. And these could easily be 30 to 40 miles per hour for Tuesday morning of next week. And honestly, I'm showing you kind of a weaker snapshot. I have some data that's showing like 40 to 50 miles, like 4 winds in Austin. Days away. Not a guarantee that that's going to happen, but just want to give you the earliest possible heads up that even if together, I do think there could be some really strong winds with this system early next week. For tonight, 80% rain is likely. It's not overly heavy, but maybe a few downpours, maybe a rumble of thunder. That could be enough to wake you up tonight. 47 degrees, 64 for the afternoon high tomorrow. There's a 20% rain chance that's mainly east of I-35 early tomorrow morning. Then we're clearing and becoming mostly sunny by the afternoon. So 7-day forecast, 80% rain tonight. Weekend's going to be nicer, at least if you're trying to avoid rain, although we know we need the rain. Monday, a 50% chance for showers and storms, maybe a couple of those strong to possibly severe, especially that front will move. It's could be really windy and turning much cooler. We're at 38 Tuesday morning, 56 for the afternoon high on Tuesday. 62 Wednesday. Next Thursday, all of a sudden we're up around 70. Bring yet another Thursday front. So things remain pretty active on our extended forecast. Tracking for you right now. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. And of course, we're gonna have our full forecast tonight on KVUE News 10. I think what we'll do, updates, people come, people go. Some people tune on a little bit late, so we'll go back to the beginning. We will go through. This is kind of another way to view how things will be this evening. We've got light showers and drizzle this evening. Overnight, that's going to become steadier as the front. Rain's going to be moving to the east by early tomorrow morning, though, as most folks are waking up. All right, so back to the top here, and we'll go through things one more time. Here's a live look. Our Kalahari Cam in Round Rock, where it is damp as we have these persistent light showers and then just kind of pockets of mist and drizzle. What I want to do as we look at the rain chances, also want to see if any of this is already added up into the rain gauge. Rain chances, though, on the increase by 11 for the I-35 corridor. That's probably rain a few hours into from now. That will last into the early overnight. But for Austin, by the time we're at 10, rain's going to be gone. That 20% rain chance for tomorrow morning really is just lingering for our easternmost areas. So here is our rainfall. Load this in, and we will see. If we have measured anything yet. Not yet. Again, I don't expect for this to be rainfall, but I do expect a 1/10 of an inch to a 1/4 of an inch fall. Okay, let's get back into our radar shot here. So here's what the radar looks like right now. We have light shower up and down the I-35 corridor from Round Rock into Austin, most of Travis, into Austin, most of Buda and down into Dripping Springs, into the Hill Country, Blanco. We've got some of this rain moving in into Burnett County and of Gillespie County. Looks like a few streamer showers over Fayette, showers over Fell. Here's kind of a closer look across the heart of the I-35 corridor. Again, this is just enough to make things slick, enough to make visibility a little bit, just kind of a dreary, drizzly evening outside. So back out the view, and I'll show you the stronger part of the system, which, by the way, is producing winter weather over parts of the Texas Panhandle in our forecast. But what we do have, though, is here's kind of the drizzle stuff that we're dealing with right now. Here is the cold front. You can see this stuff is a little bit heavier. It's not much. Not really seeing lightning or anything like that. Certainly no severe weather threat tonight, but as this is going to bring our steadier rain coming in overnight. Here's a closer look across the Panhandle. Look at this. We're tracking some snow, pretty heavy snow tonight. There are some winter weather alerts here. Amarillo under a winter weather advisory, winter storm warning for the Eastern Panhandle, at least two of our Texas counties. So let's go through our local forecast tonight. Here comes some of that steadier rain making it into the Hill Country later this evening into the overnight. That's going to continue. That's going to shift eastward as we get into the later overnight into tomorrow morning. Here is 12:30. By the time we keep going into say 3 a.m. for the metro and the Hill Country, things are trending drier. There likely will still be some rain for our eastern zones like Bastrop County, Lee County, Fayette County, and Milam County. Here is tomorrow morning. Austin could have some residual showers over parts of Fayette County, and then through the mid to late morning, all of Central Texas will sunshine, and temperatures tomorrow will be pretty pleasant because this is a Pacific cold front. There's not like a shot of Arctic air coming in behind it or anything, so temperatures will actually be warmer over the weekend compared to the past couple of days. I think that these totals from our low across the I-35 corridor, we've a couple hundredths of an inch of rain just from these light showers that are moving right now. For most, by the time I'm done, I think it's going to be a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch, which is widespread. There'll probably be some isolated pockets that get a little bit more than that, a quarter of an inch to a half, or close to the extent of the rain that we had a couple of days ago. Over the weekend, if you have plans, both Saturday and Sunday are going to be 64 for both days. And then Monday, early next week, again, this is January 8th, that is when our strong cold front gets here. Now, this is going to be a much more dynamic weather system, so there could be some instances, perhaps a couple of strong to severe storms, especially over Texas, but even here in Central Texas, we're going to have to keep an eye on how all of this comes together. As of now, it looks like kind of morning into the early afternoon with the best rain and storm chance. Then the front is coming through by the mid to late afternoon. That will put an end to our rain chances, but it's going to get really windy and it's going to turn cooler. So from 70 on Monday, we'll be in the 30s by Tuesday morning, and the high temperature on Tuesday breeze. Severe weather threat, we continue to monitor. As of now, it does look like it's going to be a better severe weather risk southeast Texas into Louisiana and along the Gulf Coast. But here in the KVUE area, have that slight risk. This is a center, so this is the day 5. We don't get into the normal levels until day 3. Level 2 from drop into the Highway 77 corridor and our easternmost zones. And even though you don't see any shading or area for Austin or the Hill Country, that does not mean that the severe weather threat for those areas will be 0. I do think it's going to be lower, but necessarily non-existent. So we'll know more about that part of our forecast here in just a couple of days. Regardless of if this manifests and comes together, outside of the thunderstorms, I think we will have non-thunderstorm winds. We call this the pressure wind because of the pressure gradient with this strong low system. I think these winds Monday night into Tuesday morning will eat into to be 30 to 40 miles per hour as this model is showing some of these 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, perhaps funneling down into Central Texas as well. So regardless of this storm risk, I do the weather which is heading our way. Tonight there's an 80% chance for rain. Most of it's not going to be overly heavy. It'll be cloudy and cool, drop down to 47. Tomorrow there's a 20% chance for showers. That's mainly east of Austin and during the morning. The afternoon will be sunny, high temperature of about 64. Here's the 7-day forecast. The weekend looking pretty nice. If you have any plans today, our more dynamic weather, our more system is going to be moving in. 50% to be moving in. A 50% chance for storms. Washout, but some of those storms will wash out, but some of those even severe. It will be cold and windy by Tuesday morning. Wednesday, looking at 62. Will be in the upper 60s to low 70s by Thursday, but I think Thursday night there could be another cold front which moves through. So that is an update on our forecast. I will leave you with that. It is 8:20 coming up here in, an hour and 40 minutes. We'll have KVUE News at 10 o'clock. We'll go through the full forecast with you. Have a good night, and I will talk to you guys at 10.